I love costumes in Smash, that much is obvious. I've made all kinds of videos talking about this topic, the origins of their references, different ideas I have, future me costumes, but I've never really gone just straight through the roster and talked about different costume ideas for each individual character. So that's what we're going to start in this video. We're going to pose this as a hypothetical where Nintendo snapped out of whatever weird funk that they've got, and we're going to pose it as if each character gets a brand new DLC costume. So we don't really need to worry about a costume limit or replacing any pre-existing costumes. This is all going to be tacked on to stuff that's already in the game. So let's jump into brand new costumes after you subscribed, starting with Mario. So first off, bring back Fire Mario, period. But second, Mario has such a long history of different costumes and appearances that really any of them would make good costumes for Smash. We got a tiny taste of this with Ultimate, having both Builder Mario and Wedding Mario as costumes, but we could really take this a full step further. Honestly, any costume that exists in Super Mario Odyssey would be fantastic to have in Smash, but my personal favorites would be the Cowboy outfit and the Sunshine outfit. I love when costumes are able to hit different appearances that characters have had in the past, and these are some of the older costumes that help to balance with the newer ones. The Cowboy outfit is a full-fledged costume based on the appearance of older Mario Party games that had the characters dressed up as cowboys, and the Sunshine outfit is of course the final outfit that you get in Super Mario Sunshine. Having an N64 and a GameCube costume just feels right. It helps to cover a big portion of Mario's history. But like I said, literally any costume from Odyssey works well, and at that point, it's just going to be a matter of what your personal preference is. Heck, throw in the skeleton, I think that would be really funny. Moving on to Donkey Kong, he has far less costumes that we can draw inspiration from. First of all, as far as recolors go, just turn the white costume into Super Kong. Let's just get it over with. I mean, literally everyone already says that this costume is Super Kong anyway, even though it's not, so just change the tie to blue and call it a day, seriously. But as for full costumes, the obvious one right away is a Punch-Out costume, which is a classic to anyone who's into Smash modding. The inspiration for this costume comes from Punch-Out for Wii, which has Donkey Kong appear in the ring as a secret boss. In that game, it's literally just Donkey Kong simply wearing boxing gloves, but the Smash mods usually take it up a notch and make it as if he stole Little Mac's clothing and is, an actual boxer. I'd be cool with either one of these in the real game, but obviously the better the costume, the happier I'd be, so the basic gloves just don't entirely do it for me. But there is also the Super Mario Strikers series, a soccer game, or football if you're not a stinky American, that gave all of the characters clothing more appropriate for soccer. Those were also really sick looking outfits, and I don't really have much more to say. If that was one of the costumes Donkey Kong got, I would be alright with it. There is the possibility of also putting Donkey Kong in the weird suit that he wore for Skylander Superchargers, but honestly I don't really try to think about Skylanders too much, so maybe that one is just best left alone. Ultimately, I think Boxer Kong just kind of fits well with Smash, with it being a fighting game and all, so that would personally be my pick. Now Link is an oddball here because honestly, I really like his costumes in Smash. This version of Link comes from a game where armor and customization are such huge aspects of gameplay, and the 8 costumes we have in Smash do a pretty good job of representing not only various costumes from Breath of the Wild, but previous Smash costumes as well. I'm a real fan of including the Champion Link appearance that he has in this game, while also keeping the classic tunic and hat as an alternate. But if I have to make a brand new costume, I think it would be cool to somehow have 2 Links represented in a single character. That might involve a moveset adjustment since, for example, Twilight Princess or Classic Link don't use the remote bombs, but overall, representing multiple Links is really the only path that I can imagine. Either that or just leaning more into the Breath of the Wild armor and giving him different headwear as well, because really he only wears a hat or doesn't wear a hat, so there's a lot of headwear that could have been included in the game. Honestly, I prefer the way Smash is representing different Zelda games across multiple characters, and Link's costumes are already pretty nice, so I probably wouldn't change much. Samus is somewhat unique in Smash because she has had several suit design changes over the years, from Super Metroid to Zero Mission to Other M. But all of these are simply different designs for the Varia suit, so the actual suit isn't really as different as it could be across different generations. She has some really cool suits that even get referenced in color palettes, but I think turning these into full-on alternates would be fantastic. Fans of Project M will know that they did a really cool job of including full custom suits for the light suit, the dark suit, and the fusion suit, and to me it just makes sense for Samus to have something just a little more than recolors for these costumes. And then of course there's the Metroid Dread suit, which is upcoming at the time of this video, which, would be cool as an alternate costume as well. Honestly, the proportions of each suit don't change so much that you would have an issue in Smash, and having full-on alternate costumes, or alternate suits I should say, really does justice for this character because all the different suits are a big part of Samus. Alright, let's talk about Yoshi. Just get rid of crafted Yoshi. I like the idea, I like the spirit of including alternate costumes, but I think the execution is just a flop because it just ends up looking like a used sponge in-game. And especially because we got rid of Black Yoshi for it. So let's bring back Black Yoshi, get rid of crafted Yoshi, and then we'll move forward from there. Now Yoshi's odd because so much of its depiction has just been various colors that the Yoshi species can be. So I do have a little bit of a hard time coming up with a different alternate costume that I actually like, as opposed to crafted Yoshi, which I don't at all. Now many people like the idea of a Boshi costume, which is a character from Super Mario RPG, and I guess I can get behind that. The sunglasses and the spiked necklace, it definitely would be a cool costume. And you could even make it so that Boshi's outfit is for half of the costume slots, since he's technically just a Yoshi, just a specific one that's highlighted in Mario RPG. Just slap some glasses on a few of the colors, and you're good to go. But that's not the route that I would go. I would pick another Yoshi character from a Mario RPG game. Paper Mario: The Thousand-Year Door gave Mario a Yoshi egg that eventually hatched into a mini Yoshi, and that mini Yoshi would go on to be a party member. The unique thing about this egg though is that depending on the amount of time it takes you to get to the point where the egg hatches in the story, the design of the Yoshi can change. Not only does the color of the Yoshi change, but the hair and clothing also change designs. And I have always loved this idea. It makes the party member kind of unique to each playthrough, and I think it would be magnificent for Yoshi to get these as costumes. Since we're not limiting ourselves to 8 maximum costumes in this hypothetical, just give Yoshi 16 costumes, man. Hit him with a full 8 color set. Just pretend that mini Yoshi is now an adult but has the same outfit. I think that would just be an amazing Smash costume. So Kirby is a bit of an odd one out to make costumes for. Smash puts a huge emphasis on Kirby's copy ability and the fact that every single character gives Kirby a new ability if he absorbs them, and along with that comes a new hat. So it kind of makes it difficult to give Kirby anything like a hat as an actual alternate costume because it would get immediately hidden when he gains a copy ability. So honestly, I think for this one, we're just gonna have to go with recolors. Kirby has a ton of recolors from his home series that aren't in Smash, way more than just the 8 that we have, and some of them are some really cool combinations, so I'd love to see those come to Smash if Kirby were to get alternate costumes. So I don't got very much to say for Mr. Fox McCloud. I guess I'll just steal from Project M for this one and bring his Melee incarnation over, because that's basically just his Star Fox 64 incarnation, just more detailed. And then I guess we just call it a day. He doesn't have a ton of outlandishly different costumes that look cool in my opinion. There was a certain point where his design very much changed, but then after that, they just kind of tweaked stuff here and there. So I guess Melee Fox is really just where we're gonna have to land on. I'm sorry to the Star Fox fans who probably are shrieking about why I'm wrong for saying this, but personally, that's just my opinion. So Pikachu is a pretty interesting character because I'm pretty content with all of their costumes. As a set, they all do a really good job of representing multiple generations of Pokemon, as well as Smash, and I don't know, I just like them. But if I still have to add a costume, I think it's a crime first off that Detective Pikachu isn't in this game as a costume. I know they love Pikachu Libre and wanted to bring some of the female Pikachu costumes, but come on, Detective Pikachu was right there. It was, to me, a no-brainer. And also, this isn't really for new costumes, but kind of modifies the old costumes. I think it would be cool if hairstyles from Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee were implemented for some of these costumes. Not for all of the costumes, but the hairstyles were such a fun way to further customize your partner Pikachu that I think it would be a fun inclusion and would make the costumes feel more unique in Smash. Being the overshadowed other Mario brother, Luigi definitely doesn't have as many cool portrayals as his older sibling. but you know, he still has some cool appearances. The first one is of course Mr. L. At this point, he's just an automatic skin to put into any modded version of Smash, so it would be fantastic to see him officially in the game. But for the other non-Paper Mario or Project M fans, there are a few other options. Builder Luigi could of course pop up. With Builder Mario in the game, it's just an automatic pairing that I'm actually kind of surprised wasn't in base game. But there's also Dr. Luigi, who got his own game. I don't know, dude. That's all I can think of. Luigi really needs some love, Nintendo. I don't know why he doesn't have as many cool appearances. Ness being from a single game makes his appearances a bit harder to pull from, and really there are only two options in my mind. The first one is obvious. The very popular Pajama Ness skin is probably the cleanest choice. But Ness also does get turned into a robot in Earthbound, and while Pajama Ness is sick, Robot Ness is just so much funnier. Again, there's not a lot to pick from for this one, so I don't know what else to say. And yet again, Captain Falcon really doesn't have much to pick from either, and honestly, I'm kind of sad about that, because I just wish Nintendo would make another game for him. I guess I gotta steal from Project M again, and I guess we'll just use his appearance from the original F-Zero from the Super Nintendo. It's honestly a really cool appearance, and it's different enough to, not be confusing with his normal appearance, but other than that, I got nothing. Lastly is Jigglypuff, who again barely has any different actual canon appearances that she's had, but at least the wider Pokemon universe has a ton to pull from. First, the return of the green headband and the peach crown from Melee I think would be fantastic. Those are definitely some fan favorite costumes, and while they're not really references to anything, I guess at this point they're a reference to themselves because it's a reference to an older Smash game, so I think that would be fun. But in following the theme that Pikachu and Jigglypuff both have, I think that we could also pull from some of the other female player characters. Celine's Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon hat, or Dawn's hat, or even Hilda's hat. I think there's plenty to pick from that I'm surprised we didn't get at least another proper reference, rather than, something random like Kirby's sleep hat or the bow. And those are my costume ideas for the first 12 characters in Smash. I've already looked forward to see the next handful of characters that I'm going to be talking about, and what I've discovered is that characters either have a ton of different options or barely anything at all. So I'm going to do my best to come up with something cool for every single character, but I've no promises that it's going to be amazing for every single one, because sometimes there's just not anything that we can, choose from. But that is going to do it, you guys. Thank you for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Peace out, and I hope you have an awesome day.